Good morning.
Good morning, Melanie.
So I'd just like to introduce you to our presenter today, Anne Botton. Now, Anne is the owner of Global Training Institute, and she is going to talk to you about some pretty interesting things in terms of wage subsidy potential for your clients and possibly even for yourselves, but the main focus on clients. Now, Anne, one of the things that you're coming at this from the angle of to get a wage subsidy, there's a requirement for a course, and you're going to explain that in a moment. But do you want to just tell us a little bit about, sort of in 30 seconds or less about yourself and the company and what brings you here?
Okay, so Global Training Institute, we've been around for the last 16 years. That's my husband Shane and myself. So I've been an RTO since 2005. So we've been working with companies and training. Before that, we were doing business development with lots of companies. So we're very used to being in that professional services space that you people are. And then we've also got backgrounds beforehand. So I was a teacher and Shane's a civil engineer. But for 16 years, I have been helping companies and individuals to advance their careers. And we're just so excited with the progression that we see with our students. So we've had thousands and thousands of past graduates. We've been training online for the last, well over sort of 12 years. So certainly when COVID hit, it wasn't a shock to our company or our students because we just kept progressing because our systems have been designed that way.
Right. So one of the differences between you and a lot of the other training providers is that your online training is still, and you'll talk about that a little bit later.
I will, definitely,
It's genuine training. It's not just send them a PDF and hope.
Oh no, and we get, and I have the privilege being the owner of sort of every fortnight before our trainers meeting of just looking at all of the feedbacks that come in of our students that just finished that fortnight and all of their different things. But so excited because we career path people from certificate 4 where they'll come in as a leading hand or a supervisor or a junior sort of office admin person all the way through. So I've been talking to Mark this morning, and Mark is a graduate of us that has done a few levels and has just finished his MBA. So, and got this dream job. So so it's so exciting as we work with people over the years. Got another student coming back in a couple of, in the next week, who was a student with us in 2007.
Really?
So one of our and he's coming back now to do a diploma of leadership and management with us and had done a Cert 4 way back.
Wow.
And you'll meet Wendy again later in the slides, and Wendy was a 2009 student.
Okay, so let's talk about why we're here and what's in it for these HR, recruiter, you guys that are listening, because obviously there's some significant benefits for you in what Anne's going to explain.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what is this thing that we're going to talk about?
All right, so hang on, come with me on the ride this morning because I've got some really, really good news for you. So excited to be able to share it with you. And for that you can then share with your clients. Okay, so what is out there is it's a program called BACK. Now, if you want to take the long version, it's called Boosting Apprenticeship Commencements, but don't worry about it because it's got nothing to do with apprenticeships. It's got nothing to do with commencements, but it does have something to do with boosting.
So people will be hearing this and go, oh no, I've heard of that. That's for like trainees, 17-year-olds.
Yeah, no. So we'll dispel lots of myths today, and you'll be able to then help your clients realise that they are eligible for a 50% wage subsidy from the federal government. So the government is looking to boost the economy, so they're giving wage subsidies back for new and some existing employees, so up to $28,000. And part of it is that you do a training program, an approved course with an RTO like ourselves.
So if you are a recruiter and you're recruiting an engineer or something like that, then potentially they're still eligible.
Absolutely.
And that's what you're going to explain.
Yeah, absolutely. Every single person that you've helped put on in the last 3 months, well, I'll go 98% of people.
Maybe not the CEOs.
No, so maybe not the CEOs, but nearly 98% because, unless they're on a skills migration visa, basically, I'm going to show you, but everybody else is going to be able to participate and would be eligible. And you're going to get to tell that good news story.
So you're basically going to show them how they can, for everyone they've put on in the last 3 months,
absolutely.
The employer can claim enough money to recover their fees, basically.
And they are just going to love you. They're going to think you are the best thing since sliced bread.
And any new people that you go out to recruit from now till March, your fees can be covered by this scheme pretty much.
Plus the employer's going to, they're still going to love you. So so in this time of uncertainty, anxiousness by business owners, you're going to have a great news story for everyone you have worked with, and then everyone that you're intending to work with in trying to work with until now, till the end of March. So yeah, we'll run through that. But yeah, rest assured, you've got some great news stories to share.
Actually, so one of the things I should have said at the beginning is if you've got questions, because people do have a lot of preconceived ideas about this, if you've got questions, drop them into the chat. I will read them out to Anne, and if there's any that we miss, we'll make sure we've answered them all by the time we finish today. Yeah. So we're about 30 minutes or so to we'll go through it pretty properly. So what's it about? What's the background?
Okay, so with JobKeeper was coming to the end, the government needed to put some money back into the economy, needed to stimulate it, for your job industry, it's great, they need to see more people back in workforce. So the flaws in JobKeeper weren't going to work anymore, so they put on at the end of last year, 100,000 training places were introduced at $2.8 billion. Places got consumed really quickly by some of the big companies, so they changed, the government went, like after the pink back scheme and everything, they kind of pulled it back really quickly, redefined it, and then have re-released it. So where before you may have heard it isn't working, or it's only just for new workers, those sorts of things aren't quite necessarily correct what's out in the marketplace, and a lot of the HR people in companies won't always have the right information either.
No, so you've been finding that, haven't you? People go, oh no, we don't want any apprentices.
Yeah, and it's not. The government just needed to very quickly put it into a scheme that was already operational, that they already had contracts with, which happened to be the apprenticeship network suppliers. So they kind of just went, oh, all right, here's a box, let's put it in here, let's call it something. So in the industry, it's called the BAC program now. Okay, so yeah, they did tighten these things for existing workers, but new workers are good to go, and some existing workers, but I'll explain that as well. So in the May budget, they've put an extra $2.7 billion into this program, which it's a lot of things. So they're saying it's uncapped. So if you really want to grow your business in these next few months, go for it. So because yeah, you'll be helping the government out, because as I show, it is really a great win for everybody. It's a really good program.
So that's just a bit of the...
Yeah, so that's just to show you that yes, it is official. So yeah, we've got all of these things. At the end of it, we'll be able to give you a kit that you can use to either then show to your clients as well. But yeah, it's a ringy-dingy legitimate program that is excellent. As an employer, I access it for ourselves. Melanie, as an employer, you access it as well, but we'll explain that as well. So some of the stats, yeah, is it for 17-year-olds? Yes, you can be 18 or, you know, things, but it's also for over 35s. Most 20% of them are for over 35s. Most of my students have been since 2005, been all mature age students. And yeah, we're getting lots through on this program.
And that's mature age, but not unskilled.
Oh, no. So no, you can have university degrees and doctorates and everything, yeah, or have no qualifications at all. It is one of the actual programs out there at the moment that doesn't discriminate, which is...
And this is on top of any of the current COVID support stuff that's being thrown around.
Yeah, totally separate. So yeah, so if you can let your employer, know, and your clients know that there is something for them at the moment, then they will really thank you. Okay, so 40% have been in small businesses. Yeah, it's not necessarily for traditional trades. 20% of the business services, which is where a lot of our courses and things run for leadership management, project management, business. So if you're in New South Wales, we need to lift the game, because we're running a bit behind the rest of them. But yeah, so especially great if you've got clients in construction, manufacturing, and anything to do with safety or environment as well. The government's really pushing those aspects at the moment.
And that's for existing workers as well.
Yeah, that's for the existing, yeah, we'll cover those ones. Now, so in your world out there at the moment, you'll see that there's a lot of jobs advertised on Seek, and you'll be helping people fill those, that if the employers can know that, and you can take the message that they can get a wage subsidy and a wage rebate back for people if they put them on, then they'll certainly help you stand out in that areas. Yeah, so we'll cover all of that. So yes.
Okay,
it's a win for a government. It's a win for their economy. It's definitely a win for the employer. It's a win for you as recruiters, and definitely a win for the employees.
So what's in it for the government?
Okay, so for the government, it boosts employment. So because as an employer, I know that if I've got an extra half someone's wage rebated back for $56,000, I'm putting on extra people. And in our business, we actually have. So we're running some big projects and things now that we wouldn't have necessarily brought on. But if I know that I've got half their wages covered, I'm actually using this time to bring on extra staff to actually then push and implement those projects and then be able to keep those people after.
So it's a good time to build a foundation with a bit of.
Oh yeah, and we've got lots of our clients doing that as well. Yeah, is sort of while there's wage subsidy, actually bringing on extra people and using it as a time to retrain as well and grow in-house and different things with extra people and things. So yeah.
So even if you're a recruitment firm and you thought you wanted to go into a new area or something like that, you'd be a chance to actually get somebody subsidised to give that a go and reduce the risk of trying to expand.
Yeah, this is actually a super duper program for you guys to be promoting at the moment. Stick an extra person on and get out there and actually grow your business. We don't have, as business owners and things, we don't have to be listening to the news all the time with doom and gloom. There is actually opportunities and business growth at the moment, and be able to be telling our clients good news stories at the same time.
So the employers obviously get the benefit of financial support.
Oh yeah, so you get half your wages back up to $28,000. So it's $7,000 per quarter that they can claim back on somebody's wages, up to half the rate that they did.
And is there a limit to the number of people they can put on this?
No. So if it's many that fit in and that they get approved by the apprenticeship mobs, then yeah, then definitely. So as well as that, we know that if there is a job shortage, you want to keep people, you want to keep your loyal staff. If you've got them on a wage subsidy and a traineeship with you, then they're with you for the next 12 months. You are going to keep them. The people appreciate it and they're more liable to stay.
So from the recruiter's point of view, one, they want people to stay so they don't have to replace them or refund or whatever.
Yes.
And then I guess the other thing is that if you're looking for somebody for an employer and there's a little gap in their skills or their qualifications, you can actually bring somebody and go, I can get you this person and they can do this course to fill that gap.
Yeah.
You'll be still financially ahead.
Yeah, so you can really work with them on that whole career and that whole development area for their business.
Right.
Because $28,000, rebated makes a big difference on your wages bill. And you can save that.
So specifically, what's in it for the recruiters?
Okay, for the recruiters, which is a good news story for you guys, so excited to be able to share it. You can increase your client numbers because your service will help them actually make money. So if in a very quick way, just think of $20,000, probably going to be more, but $20,000 that you can be saving on their wages bill.
Which is what is going to cover the recruitment fee.
Oh, well, yeah, plus some, well and truly, because there's all these other incentives as well for the employers going to pick up. And yeah, so it's just a great time for you guys to be out there sharing it.
And it's a funny thing, isn't it, that a lot of this stuff tends to be taken advantage of by the sort of job placement services that may be placing unemployed people into work and things. Yeah. Whereas the professional recruiters tend not to tap into this, and yet they're allowed to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So no, it doesn't matter which end of that scheme that you're in the recruiting, you can just come in, and it's a time that you can actually show that your professionalism as a company as well, because you can be the trusted advisor. You can bring those good news stories, and it's a time that you can actually pick up the phone this afternoon and say, hi, hey, listen, I helped you 3 months ago, bring on Sally or Fred. Guess what? If we haven't got them on this program yet, I just found out how I can help you get up to $28,000 rebated on their wages and get them skilled and trained, and make a big difference to your business.
If you do that, you're definitely going to pick up the next time they want to hire somebody, they're going to come back.
Yeah, it's just those little tiny things. You can send a card and and put in the card, hi, have great news, can't wait to catch up. I've got something good to tell you. Yeah, just little things, because a card at the moment makes a huge difference. Yeah, we sent some cards to people, and the raving reviews of these people that rang through the other day, they could not believe the difference, that somebody had thought and cared for them at the moment.
Yeah, all those little business development things.
Yeah, all those little things that you can just send at the moment to them. But yeah, you can overcome that myth to say that they're not eligible. They will be, as long as they're not a federal government department. Then basically all of your clients are going to be eligible. Yeah.
So why would the employees want to do this though? What's in it for them?
Employees at the moment, this is their stability, this is their career, this is their opportunities. So there's so many things for them. They get professional development, they'll get the latest skills, they get security. If you are on, in today's market, on a traineeship for the next 12 months, you are reducing that thing of being last on, first off, if the business is not going well. So yeah, they're fighting to get on the programs just to even cover that one thing. But the benefits for them is just incredible. I just read these stories, and it's just that the training makes such a difference to them personally, in their personal lives, as well as in their work lives. Look, from somebody, whoever this one here is, I'm focused on improving my employment position and aiming for a management role. I've talked to management and this course fits this progression perfectly.
Oh.
So it doesn't matter what level they'll come in. I've been able to use, best thing was being able to use my existing workplace for my assessments evidence. So we're not anything where they're doing silly little activities in the books. We're doing real life examples. We're doing real workplace things with them. So the employees love it. They get their own personal trainer, they get their own completion coach. And I just get thank yous every day through all of these things, saying thank you so much for the difference that you've made with us.
So even if they are a mid-level kind of senior experienced person, I mean, you're talking about doing diplomas and things, not talking about junior kind of course.
No, not at all. And our diplomas then lead into our advanced diplomas, which lead into by the third and final year Bachelor of Applied Management or direct entry MBAs. Right. And I'm seeing people go all the way through. But look, I'm going to commence a new role with a new employer in 3 weeks as a direct result from this course.
That's good.
So it is, it's great. So let's have a look. Who is eligible? So you can go back and think about all of your clients that you've got on your books and those that you've potentially been trying to farm that you might be able to reel in at the moment. Okay. All businesses, organisations and councils from all states and all industries are eligible. Any employer, any size, any industry, any location. So all of your Aussie citizens, and we even let the Kiwis in, as long as they've been here more than 6 months.
What would you do without it?
and generally those with PR are eligible as well. So it's not just for new or junior staff. That's going to be a big story. It's for your professionals, the experienced staff are eligible. The only people that are not eligible are basically state and federal government organisations.
Okay.
And those departments.
So here, I know you wanted to do this calculation just to
yes. Okay. So if they put on one person, they're going to be saving between $20,000 and $28,000, depending which state it is and which course. The participants, if they can put on 5, then you've got, they're going to save. Bulk heaps, 100 something grand, 10, it sort of doubles. And if it's a huge organisation or have multiple companies around the multiple businesses around the country, then they may have up to 50 participants. Right. So
Plus there's other incentives as well, aren't there?
Yeah, there are, because there's payroll tax rebates. So the states, when you put on somebody new, may have
work cover exemption.
There's work covers, and they might have starting commencements and finishing, especially at the certificate 4 level. So there is others to explore, but
this is the minimum that you're talking about.
So it's just minimum that we're looking at, but and it's rebated back to them. It comes back into the bank account. It really does work. Melanie and I both see the dollars coming back into our bank accounts as employers. So it works.
So what kind of courses can they do?
Okay, so for all your new people, so it's for anyone that you've helped somebody put on for the last 90 days. So from when they got employed until 90 days, they need to be registered with the ASSN for the program.
Which you'll explain that.
Within 90 days. So go back your 2.5 months and find every single person that you've helped put in there and check if they're on this program. If not, tell them to get on this program and help them get registered. So they don't have to be all the way through to training with me, but they've got to even emailed and made some contact.
So it's almost like started the process.
Within that 90 days. So go back and that'll help you, really get moving on that. Okay, so for new employees around the country, leadership and management, business and project management are available in all states. Human resources management is available in most states. Local government, a few states. Workplace health and safety, most states. Civil construction, all states. And then the Cert 4s, basically all of those are available in nearly every state.
Right, so if people want to know specifics
Yes, in the kit.
You're going to show them at the end.
Yeah, in the kit, we've got it listed out for which states. So just depending where you are and which state. So for all of your new people, basically take that, know that you can get them into a business course, a leadership and management course, which of course management suits all of your executives and things. So as long as they don't have the exact qualification, they can have a higher qual, but as long as they don't have the exact qual, yeah, they should be eligible and ready, right to go.
So you mentioned that there are a couple of courses for people who are existing employees that have been there for more than 90 days in a permanent full-time job. Do you just want to explain that? Because I know there's some preconceived or
some things that,
sorry, I forgot about the costs. Better talk about that first.
Okay, so the cost of the course will depend typically. So it could be if you're in if you're a New South Wales HR recruiter and helping people in New South Wales, all of those courses on the previous screen are free. Thank you very much to the New South Wales government who is fully subsidising those. Okay, and in the other states, our fees will range between $5,000 and $7,000. And then basically, because some of the civil ones are slightly more expensive there. So basically, if you say that the employer is going to save 20 grand after they've paid their course fees, then it's a good win for them. And that just makes it a ballpark sort of figure.
So if they have to pay a course fee, they're still going to be hit by 20,000.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, at least. Okay. And if you happen to have people in construction in Queensland, yeah, CSQ subsidises towards that as well. Thanks to CSQ, I have a nice one of their pens with me at the moment. So, yeah.
Okay, so now existing worker, can you explain what the go is with this? Because they keep changing the policies, don't they? So what is it at the moment? Okay,
so number one, go back and for the first 90 days and sort out all of your people that have been new and get them onto the program because their 90 days are ticking down. Then number two, keep in mind all of the ones that you're going to bring on as well, but then go back and look at your existing people that you've worked with in the past. So existing workers are, yes, they are approved still, they're still eligible, but there is a limited number of courses and things that they can do.
And a limited number of jobs that those courses apply to.
And then a limited number of jobs that they apply to. So yes, it's real. Yes, it's things. So we've got in our company here on this very small list, we've got 3 qualifications and we are seeing approvals come through for those particular people. So happy to go through individually with you as well. But the courses that we've got on this very small list are things like safety. Workplace health and safety is great, and we're getting lots of our approved people who work in safety roles.
So if you're a recruiter and you're working with a company who's got people in a safety role,
yes,
it doesn't matter how long they've been in that job, they can put them onto the certificate for work health and safety and get a wage subsidy.
Yes, so as long as they haven't got their Cert 4 in WHS, so they can have a uni degree in safety.
Right.
But as long as they haven't got the certificate 4 in WHS, don't worry about the OHS because that's too old. So that, yeah, they're Cert 4 in WHS, they can come on, they will be updating all of their policies, procedures and systems and things around the office. They can do the course over 12 months and still pick up the wage subsidy, which the employer can then use to bring on other staff and things in the organisation as well. So yes, so workplace health and safety is good to go in every single state. Civil construction, Cert 4 in civil construction, which is for all of the leading hands and supervisors, foremen, project managers out on site in civil construction. So that can be either building the tunnels under the bridge, under the seas or in the rivers, or working on roads and or with councils, all of their gangers and overseers. So if you've worked with any of those people in the past, they're all good to go as well for each state.
And that's for existing workers as well. So
that's your existing workers. Yeah, that's everybody. So think about any of the people you've worked with in safety, any of your people that have got civil construction, and go back to them after you've done your new workers.
Do the new ones first.
Do your new workers first, and then go back to think about all of these and have this as an extra special story for them. Okay, and currently the environmental sustainability. So anyone that's sort of been in a safety role that needs to add an E, environmental, to their HSEs, then it's really good. So that's for Western Australia and for New South Wales.
Right. And that one is, we don't know how long that's going to last.
No, that one's in a bit of transition. So we're still trying to keep it things, but definitely anyone who is involved in safety and haven't got their environmental, they're eligible. Yeah, and so we're seeing those ones come through as well. So these are little magical forms to show that what comes in and been approved. Yeah, so these are some from this week.
So if you want to, so if you summarise that, focus on the new employees first because they have a timeline.
They've got a timeline. That time's ticking down 90 days from when they got been employed to when they've got to be registered.
But the bit that people are surprised to find out usually is that there is there are a few courses, these ones for existing workers, that are worth looking at as well.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay, so how does the client actually claim this money? How does it work?
Yeah, okay, so basically when the employer and the employee have got together and agreed, yes, they're going to do it, pick their course, you book in for an appointment with the apprenticeship mob. We've got it in the end, we've got everything they need for a meeting in the kit. And at that meeting, they do a quick sign up for the person to become a trainee, either an existing worker trainee or a new worker trainee, which does not affect wages or pay, their wages or their employment conditions.
Because if I was a senior engineer and told I was going to be a trainee, I might get my nose a bit out of joint.
Yeah, well, just tell them that, yeah, it's good for them, it's good for the business, and it's not going to affect them at all.
And that it's not a trainee in the sense that you're some junior that needs
no, and we certainly do not treat you, you're filling out those silly little activity books when you're a mature age person. Yeah, for 16 years we've been working with people who are definitely skilled. We've got a lot of engineers, lots of professionals as students with us. Okay, so you register them as a trainee. You then get at that meeting, you apply for your wage subsidy at that meeting. At the end of each quarter, your apprenticeship mob send you reminders, which is like that letter there to say hi. You have to remember to put your wage slips up for Fred. So we'll say Fred became the trainee. Put your wage slips up with Fred, and you also put up your training plan. And so then the government looks at Fred's wage slips that's over that last quarter, and he then says, right, half of what it is, up to $7,000 for that quarter, and then they put the money into your bank account within the next sort of 3-weekish sort of period.
So it's once you've got started, it's kind of like the JobKeeper process where you just upload pay slips and get reimbursed.
Yeah, and it is working. Yeah. So yes, I know we've been putting ours in for the last quarter a few weeks ago, and yeah, dollars are flowing into the bank account. So
okay, so we have a question in the chat.
Yes.
Someone has asked, does this apply to all classes of employee, like casuals as well as permanent?
Okay, so your casual staff are no. So it is for part-timers and permanent, but you can increase often casuals through to part-time or permanent. So part-time, think of it being 15 hours a week. There is one state with 13, but generally speaking, think of it as 15. And if you're in New South Wales, moving from casual to permanent part-time, they still cannot have been with you for more than 12 months. So if they were a long-term casual with you, the department there say that they're basically
pretty much permanent. Yeah.
They're pretty much permanent. So you might as well have a look at their things. But if you are in some of the other states, you can move your people, and definitely with extra 20 grand, it's a good reason to, good opportunity to move the casuals up to permanent part-time or part-time full-time.
Well, thank you. Keep asking those questions, by the way, and I'll pass them on to Anne as we go. Okay, so the actual training side of it then.
Yeah.
You touched on that. It's not going to be like childish little, filling in a book or whatever. How does it work if from the employee, so you've got mature, experienced employee, what's the process for that? Okay,
so basically what happens is everybody has their own individual trainer and their own completion coach. So we give you a time, that is negotiated between the employer and the employee and us, as to basically, could be, what's today, Tuesday. So it could be 11:30 on a Tuesday is your training time with us. One week you're going to have the trainer call, the next week your completion coach will call, the next week, so it works on a 4-weekly kind of rotational basis. The next week they'll be doing some work in their organisation, because they've got to collect their policies, procedures, systems and everything. The following week they're back with the completion coach, and then they're back on with the trainer again. So it's kind of works there, and then so they'll be researching into their own employment situations, and everybody really likes it because they actually learn more about their business, and especially those new people, they're going to be discovering more about the organisation that they're in.
So it's almost like an induction.
It is. It's a great induction for them, and every 4 weeks you get a new topic, because the course expands over the 12 months to make sure that they get the wage subsidy as well. But yeah, and this is Wendy, who was a 2009 student that's done a few courses along the way and has just done another couple of diplomas with us there. So yeah, we've been around a long time, and a lot of our students have as well.
And presumably they haven't been doing the one course.
Oh no, they haven't been doing the one course. They've been really moving it. So Wendy's moved states. She's just got some great new management progressions along the way. And so it works really well, and yeah, they're really happy.
Awesome. And what about if there are bigger groups, which is probably only going to be for those larger companies with new workers or whatever, but
yes, and or some of these civil companies or some of the safety people, they like to bring them in to actually work with us. So what we've done is that we still do our online workshops now. So rather than the trainers going out to them, we Zoom our trainers or stream we beam them in. We beam our trainers in. Workshops are still interactive. People are still doing activities. We have breakout rooms. We have discussions. It works really coolly. So we do that for anyone with 20 plus, and we really get into the culture of the company, and basically whatever the employer is having trouble getting through the brains of their people, they let us know, and we make sure that we cover all of those things in workshops, because we can tell things that the employer often can't.
True. And if someone wants to see how that works in real life, you've got a little video that you can send, haven't you?
Yeah, we have. We've got a video you can watch and they can watch, and we've got it on making change stick in an organisation. So it's actually a educational thing as well. It's quite funny, but it is educational and quite short, so you can actually see how we actually interact.
So how it works with the trainer in a different location.
Yes. So it certainly doesn't stop, and we've been able to help a lot of employers that recently, especially at this 12 months and very recently, they're getting training happening really quickly for people when they've been in lockdowns and things, because we can do it all remotely, that people are at home. So and in different locations, making most of it. Construction, in Sydney a while ago, we've been doing quite a bit with theirs, and employers are still ringing saying, hi, how fast can I get going? Give my people training.
Good idea. And so the risk point of view, from the point of view of the recruiters who are going to be advocating this, obviously they don't want to go to their clients and say, do this, and then find that they're out of pocket or something. But
totally understand. Okay. Been here for 16 years, we are totally approved by every government, the highest sort of levels for everything, but we run a risk-free guarantee on this as well. Okay, nobody pays us anything for any course until you've got these magical forms in, and this is the form. So after they've been and had their sign up with the apprenticeship mob send us these magical forms to say, hi, as a training company, will you take on XYZ? So this one here is for a diploma of business new worker. So
that form doesn't come through unless the student's approved.
The approved and everything's gone through. Then from here, then we do the enrolment with the thing. So before then, we've got the permission from the company to say, yes, go ahead with these people. But when these come in, then we do the enrolment. When the enrolment forms are back, then we'll send the invoice. If there is one. So remember, if you're in New South Wales, it's going to be totally free for all of the new workers, because we've got all of those courses that we say thank you very much to New South Wales government, who is going to be paying for those courses. So if the employer has to pay us anything, then they're not paying us until these forms are in and the enrolment forms are in.
And what if they don't get approved?
Okay, so if there's no approval, then there's no
paying.
There's no paying.
Okay.
So, but if there is no approval and no paying, we've got other things as well. So if the people for some reason don't want to do this one, we do have a plus 45 program. So have you got
subsidised
subsidies? So we've got other subsidies and different things that work around the country.
And we've had a couple like that actually, haven't we, recently, where they didn't get approved for the traineeship for various reasons. For various reasons on an existing worker that didn't fit into those three categories, but the employer were still wanting to do a particular training with us, and some of their people were over 45, so we've applied that. Others have actually just been paying for us for the training as well for their existing workers. Right, so it's really a mixture, but we'll find a solution.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we have people here, we have wonderful skilled people here in the organisation, our account managers, that will certainly help and talk to you and really look after your clients as well.
So just before we wrap up, if anyone's got any more questions, just drop them in now. But just as a warning, so where to from here? What do people need to do? Okay, so for your number one, we'll do two things. So this hand, we'll talk about your business. So in your business, have a look to see whether or not you've got any new employees or anyone in the safety field that you can look at putting on or wanting to put on the future or grow your business or whatever. So look at it for yourself. Contact us and we'll give you an account manager to work for you. Okay, for your clients,
give us a quick email after this, and our account managers will send you out a kit that you can then share this good news story with your clients. Remember, go back to anyone that you've put on in those last 90 days to help put on and get them rolling and get them through as quick as possible. So our account managers will help you get through that as quick as you can, so that it's a win for your people. But yeah, picking up that phone this afternoon and ring saying, guess what, I've got good news.
And if people need a bit more detail before they ring with the guess what, then just email that wage subsidy and you'll send it out.
Yeah, definitely, yes. Yep, we'll have you. Yep, Janelle or David or Tegan or somebody, Georgie or somebody will give you a hand to get it all through.
So it looks, Anne, like you have answered all the questions along the way. So is there anything you want to say just to wrap this up?
No, so go and share this good news story, because it really is, and the business owners out there will appreciate it, and it is an opportunity that you can definitely use to grow your own businesses over this next time. So the program finishes on the 30th of March next year. Places with our
So does that mean the wage subsidy stops getting paid?
No, because that's when you've got to be registered, so then it can be 12 months after that. So yeah, so keep in mind, so you've got what, 9 months? Yeah, 8-9 months now to get in and actually, you share this good news story. But with our trainers, they will be filling quickly, because we have been getting these great sheets in every week. So go back and sort of work on it now the quicker you can, to make sure that I've still got access to trainers and different things for your people.
And if you're on this call and you're a recruiter and you're like, I just want to talk it through with someone, can they just phone?
Absolutely, yeah, just give us a call as well. Yeah.
What is the phone number?
Okay, 1-800-998-500. It's the first thing we teach all of our students to go. And what's our phone number? 1-800-998-500. And I said, good, pick up the phone and give us a call.
All right, so yeah, if you want some clarification, just give us a call. We're happy to talk to you.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're done. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for your time, and looking forward to working really closely with you to benefit your clients.